Hi everyone, this is Captain B-Rye once again. Happy to say I got the OmniBlade GDD, that is game design document, up, and I guess I got it fleshed out enough for people to actually understand. So here we are looking at it right now. It just kind of goes over how the game flows. In particular, you'll notice that OmniBlade is going to be a very short and simple game. Uh, because, well, resources are definitely lacking, and I'm trying to keep this thing in scope as much as possible. So we just kind of peruse around the GDD, take a look at some of the incredible programmer art I threw together. So this here is this picture represents the Coliseum, and there's 4 arenas within the Coliseum. As you can read in the GDD, there's the training cliffs, which are right right there on the edge. That's where you do your training and training scenarios. Uh, the second part is Shiva's Arena, which will be sort of, I guess, probably an ice theme. And the third one will be Odin's Hill, which will be a nice hill, a nice green hill to do battles on. Maybe have some thunderbolts coming down, I don't know. Fourth is a Lyke's Tomb, which will be sort of like a graveyard type, undead type play area. Should be a little spooky if I can manage it. And fifth one will be the Dragon's Lair, where it'll be the last arena you'll fight in, and presumably it'll be some big dragon you can face. It'll be pretty cool. I like fighting dragons. I think a lot of people do. Underground dungeon, and that's the underground dungeon. You can't see it on the picture, but it's where you start the game. You start the game off in the dungeon, as you may have read from the story. And then there's the sub-dungeon, which you'll learn about later in the story if you want to look past the spoiler section. The main gate, yeah, the main gate right here, it's the only way in and the only way out of this Coliseum. So, if you want to win the game, you gotta get out of the Coliseum somehow. And here we have text about how gameplay is and stuff like that. Here we'll look at the enemy behaviors. I guess if I had to describe the battle system so far, it looks to be about a cross between Chrono Trigger and Grandia. And here's just like a really, I don't even know if you can see this via the webcam, but the O's represent the allies and the X's represent the enemies. And you can tell which ally the enemy is going to attack next by the direction that the enemy is facing. Here, that's denoted by the arrows. So this, you see this X right here is facing down, which means he'll attack this guy next. And this X has an arrow looking in this direction, which means he might attack this one, he might attack that one. This X has a arrow pointing here, which means he's going to attack this guy. And then this X has an arrow pointing down, which means he's going to attack this guy down here. And he's also got this cloudy glow type thing, which means he's going to use a special move. So the way the game works is that when you defend, you first of all, defense takes off a lot of damage. It really saves your ass. And also, whenever you defend and you receive a proportionate amount of SP, that is spell points, according to how much damage you take. So you're going to have to use defending strategically in order to build up an offense and to save your ass in a lot of cases. So unlike most role-playing games, defense actually is useful. It's not something you do when you have absolutely nothing else to do. It's something you must do in a strategic manner. It goes on to describe, I think, so here's the sequence of battle. You can just kind of read the text. At the start of battle, you'll start off kind of like the gates will be open, and then some enemies will pop out. So again, we got the heroes represented, the allies represented by the O's. Oh, excuse me. Oh. And the enemies represented by X's. Here they're just X's fading in. And then after the enemies fade in, the gate slams shut, and then battle begins as normal. And then once all the enemies are defeated, the gate will open one notch. Scroll down here. It will open one notch. Then after a few more seconds, it will have opened two notches. And during this time while the gate is opening, the player can cast heal spells or use heal items or whatever to get ready for when it opens. After a few more seconds, when it opens a few notches, which is all the way, and then more enemies will fade in. A new set of enemies will fade in. Battle will start, and you just kind of repeat that process 3 to 5 times, depending on how long the battle is supposed to be. And so for some battles, there will be one of the enemies will be a boss, and that boss will pretty much exist throughout the entire battle. The boss will go up when it's time for when you kill all the sub enemies, not the boss. He'll go and open the gate, or he'll whistle, and the gate will open, and more sub enemies will come out. So it'll keep things flowing. The battle UI is what I think is going to be super interesting about this game, is that it's just totally button driven. It's not about D-pad or anything. It's like, so when a character becomes ready to battle, a little OK button will show up over them, and so the battles are real time, and as time progresses, your characters get ready for their turn, and when they become ready for their turn, the OK button appears over them. So you can just tap on that OK button, as you can see in the GDD. Here it has a mouse cursor, but on the iPhone or whatever, you'll just tap the button, and that'll bring up your battle menu. And your battle menu will have more buttons, like you'll have the sword, item, shield, or special. Depending on which one you tap, will choose what type of move you'll do next. So if you tap, in this example, if you tap the sword button, it will just it will choose a physical attack, and then after that, it will bring up targets, like which target you want to hit with that physical attack. Those target buttons, and then you'll tap a target button, and then the game has enough information to know what move you want to execute, and then it will execute a physical attack, as depicted at this bottom frame right here. So the GDD goes on to describe how you can also do dual attacks and triple attacks. So if you tap the OK button up on the first frame, and then it brings open your battle menu, you'll also see that this OK button will have turned into a 2X button. And if you tap on the 2X button, it'll bring up the menu that shows all of the moves you can use, the dual attacks that you can use with that character. And then you can choose one, and then choose the targets as normal. And then you can even do triple attacks by sort of following that pattern. And so the single attacks typically just hit one enemy. Excuse me. The solo, I guess I should call, they're called solo specials. The solo specials typically only target one character. So it might, if it's offensive, it'll target one enemy. If it's defensive, it'll target one ally. And the dual specials, with the 2X button, those will target usually allies or enemies. Usually it will target all allies, or it will target enemies in a geometrical shape, like how in Chrono Trigger, when you attack, when you use the Cyclone attack, when you use Chrono Cyclone attack against an enemy, it will all hit that enemy plus all the enemies within a certain range of that enemy. So yeah, the dual specials they'll be sort of based on geometries and lines, circles, according to where you target them. So it adds a little extra strategy. And the triple attacks will typically be, the triple specials will either do a really good cure or a really extra special defensive on all targets, on all allies, or the triple specials will typically triple specials that are offensive will typically target all of the enemy characters. So what you want to do is you want to use the most appropriate and or powerful move as possible, but you got to remember the issue is that if you have a bunch of enemies lined up to attack a single character, they're all facing the same character and they're going to attack him. You probably won't want to use him in a combo attack because he's going to need to concentrate on defense. But it all really kind of depends on your situation. I mean, that would be especially true if he had no SP left. He's just going to have to work on defense. So, I believe that sort of summarizes what's in the GDD. If you want more details, just go along and have a read. I'm also available if you have any questions. Remember, this game is being developed in an open style. If once I get the demo out, it's very possible that I may have to start working on the source offline, just so that people can't just take a game, take my almost finished game, branch it, and then basically release the game and charge you for the game. That should be free. So that's that. At least that's my thoughts on that. So if you have any questions or comments or suggestions, please let me know. All the information is at the bottom of this video. Thank you once more. Take care.